You didn't happen to see a lord come by, did you?
Sorry, friend, but she just left. Came by with a whole posse of underlings, boarded her ship, and took off at first wind. We damn near got blown away. She was that much in a hurry.
Damn! So we missed her!
You guys trying to go after her? Need a ride?
Are you saying you know how to steer a ship?
Spent most of my life chained to the deck of some ship or other. Yeah, I know my jib from my boom.
We don't know how dangerous it'll be. Better you give us the boat and stay on solid ground.
Whoa there! You been out on the water before? The sea ain't nobody's friend, you know. You need a sea dog like me or you'll sink her before she makes it out the harbor.
We're losing time. Sir, we're in your debt.
Now that's more like it. Name's Mahavar. Just give me a holler when you're all set and we'll set sail. This is like a dream come true. Never gotten to captain a ship before. Never would have thought I'd get a chance like this. Thank you, y'all.
The pleasure's all ours. Think we'll catch up to her?
Course we will. They got too much weight on them. Meanwhile, this ship's carrying nothing but us salty scalawags. They got a good head start on us, but we can take them.
Do you know if there are any Danans on that ship?
Couldn't say for sure. On the one hand, seeing as it's supposed to be something of another castle, I'd reckon they probably wouldn't let a bunch of Danans on board. On the other hand, I'd be real surprised if the Renans were able to pilot that thing all by themselves. In any case, it's gonna be a while before we reach her. Till then, you're all free to do whatever. Just don't fall in the ocean.
I know Mahavar said we could take it easy, but there's not exactly a lot to do on this boat. I guess I'll check in on everyone and see how they're holding up.
I took a look around inside the ship just in case, but I didn't find anything that looked like it might be suspicious.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
You know, it wasn't until I left Calaglia that I finally realized just how big the world is.
When we tore down the wall in Calaglia, and I could finally see the horizon in the far-off distance, I had the exact same thought.
Yeah, somehow the sea is different though. I'm not sure just how to put it. It's almost as if it just goes on forever. I bet my old man would have been blown away by this view.
Yeah.
Ever since he died, I've been thinking about what it was that he was really trying to say to me at the end. I keep going over his words again and again. And heck, maybe I'm just overthinking it all. But still, sometimes I wonder if it could have turned out differently. If there was something I could have done. But no matter how much I play it back, I'm still no closer to finding any answers. And then there's everything with Rinwell. I stopped her from killing Almeidrea, but was that really the right thing to do? Or did I just end up making things harder for her? I feel like such a screw-up.
You're not the only one. I keep asking myself what Zephyr would have done had he been here. Like I think, how would Zephyr have handled Rinwell?
Yeah, I think he definitely would have stopped her. No doubt about it.
And that's exactly what you did, Law. I think he'd be really proud of you.
Alphen.
Zephyr's not the worst yardstick to measure ourselves against. Let's both do our best to make him proud.
Sounds like a deal. Thanks, Alphen.
Hold that pose long enough and someone might just come along and paint you.
Any artist who'd see fit to paint me needs their eyes tested.
What can you tell me about Almeidrea?
Not as much as you'd probably wish. I only ended up crossing paths with her a handful of times, after I was chosen to be a lord on Lenegis.
Ah, right. I almost forgot about Lenegis. How much do you think they know about what's been going on down here?
It's safe to assume they know everything, though I know not why they choose to remain uninvolved. Perhaps they see what's been happening as just part of the ongoing crown contest.
Even what Almeidrea did? Has it really reached the point where her actions are seen as normal?
Not to my knowledge, no. At its core, the crown contest is a competition to see who can amass the most astral energy. And to amass such energy, slaves are needed to collect it from. It's therefore against the Lord's interest to kill them.
So then why would Almeidrea do something like that?
We must remember that time is running out in the crown contest. Perhaps her hand was forced, so to speak. It is a way to accrue astral energy faster and in larger quantities than through slave labor. Doing so kills off that labor force, obviously, but it is a means to an end nonetheless. No one could have foreseen that something like the Hollowing would arise back when the contest was first conceived.
Is becoming the Sovereign of Rena really that important to the Lords?
Of course. It's the greatest prize one can attain in their eyes. In that respect, at least, I'm really not that surprised that Almeidrea resorted to what she did, as utterly despicable as it is.
It's reassuring to hear you feel the same way I do.
I worry that the only reason I never did anything similar in Menancia was due to my lack of ambition.
If you didn't want to be reminded of your past, you could have just plugged your ears.
You think too highly of me. I'm afraid I must respectfully disagree. I'm not nearly as virtuous of a person as you might wish to believe.
If that's so, would you have been so shaken up when Kisara lost her brother? Why else would you turn your back on your own kind and choose to fight for Miguel's dream? Aren't we just Danans?
A curious choice of words. Did what you see in Mahag Sar hit you that hard?
What Deadheim did to that city, he didn't liberate anyone. Anyone who refused to follow him was an enemy in his eyes. 300 years of Renan rule taught him nothing.
What I have come to understand is that the conflict extends beyond Danan versus Renan. There is an internal quarrel as well. I mean to bring about a true, lasting coexistence in Menancia. But there are more walls we must topple first.
And you don't think you can pull it off?
Well, you seem to think you can, at least.
Does that make us enemies?
Insofar as an exchange of swordplay, no, it doesn't.
Not good enough for you?
Are you really... Forgive me. I will continue to fight by your side a while longer. That much I have decided.
You don't look so good. You all right?
The floor. It keeps moving. How can you stand it? How can you even stand?
I'm not the best person to ask about discomfort. I can't feel pain, remember?
I still can't believe what happened in Niez. Even now. As a lord, my expectations for Almeidrea were already pretty low. But the way she treated human lives like they're mere playthings.
Yeah. And it wasn't as if the situation in Niez was improving much to begin with.
You mean Deadheim?
The whole reason I started fighting back was because of my anger at the atrocities of Renan rule. Back then, all I had to worry about was fighting the Renans for the sake of the Danans. But then I met Shion and the people of Menancia, and things became a lot more complicated. It's even messier now that we have to worry about Danans like Deadheim.
It used to be that the Danans were the ones in the right, and the Renans were the ones in the wrong. Though, maybe that was just a biased perspective, from being on the side of the oppressed.
Exactly. I'll never tolerate the Renans ruling over us. But nothing ever ends up being as black and white as you'd expect it to be either. That's clear to me now.
That said, even putting aside bad apples like Deadheim for a moment, you may be able to free the Danan people, but that won't undo 300 years of oppression. It'll be hard for them to not give in to their resentment. I think maybe that's why I clung to our dream so hard back in Menancia.
Even if his motivations weren't pure, Dohalim has a good heart. He didn't sink to the depths Almeidrea did.
You don't understand. I'm saying that it goes deeper than that. This hierarchy we live in, it's not solely something the Renans invented. I remember a story Rinwell once told me. She said before the Renans invaded, we Danans had our own class system. We are the ones who divided ourselves. I saw it in Deadeye's eyes. He wanted to rule over others.
To hear Bayfon tell it, Deadeye wasn't always that way.
But as time went on, and he and the Darkwings fought the Renans, he eventually changed. I guess what I'm getting at is, if we defeat the Renans but just go back to the way things were before, was there even any point in fighting?
But that world isn't the one you want to create, right?
Maybe not. But to tell you the truth, these days I'm not so sure that dream is even possible.
You have your promise to Megal, though. Your home and the people of Menancia are depending on you.
I know. My brother. He truly believed in his dream of coexistence. And I suppose, even now, many people still do. And then, there's you.
Who, me?
You and Shion.
I'm not sure I follow.
Okay, then let me spell it out for you. How many other Renans and Danans do you know that get on as spectacularly as the two of you?
I don't know that I'd say spectacularly.
Well, I suppose it's really all a matter of how you look at it, isn't it?
I really don't see what you're getting.
I think I'm getting seasick again. Sorry. Can you just give me a wide berth for a few minutes?
Do you think Law is okay?
If you're worried, why don't you ask him yourself?
Yeah. I think maybe I should apologize to him too. I should apologize to all of you, really.
Us too?
Well, I was kinda lying to you all this whole time. I was blind to everything except my own revenge. I never even considered the struggles all of you might be facing.
We all have things we'd prefer to keep to ourselves, Rinwell. So what if you had something to hide? It doesn't undo the good that you've done, or the people that you've helped save along the way.
But that's not what I mean.
I know. You're talking about Almeidrea, right?
Yeah. I hate her, Alphen. I can't stop hating her. Even just thinking about her makes my head feel like it's going to explode. But it's not just her. I think about the way Law looked at me. I hated the Lord who killed my parents. And I hated the Renans I had to travel alongside. And yet, Cislodia's Danans backstab each other like it's a normal way of life. And Mahag Sar has people like Deadeye. But then there are people like Law and Shion. It's all just too much. I don't know what to think anymore.
Law never said that you had to forgive Almeidrea. It's only natural you would hate your family's murderer. But
what?
Law left home because of how much he hated his father. As a result of that, well, I think Law spent a lot of time thinking about how they never got to make things right. And if I had to guess, killing Ganabel didn't make any of those feelings go away. Law let revenge fuel him, and I think now he's afraid you'll do something you'll regret.
Afraid?
Whatever happens to Almeidrea when this is all over is up to you. I'll respect whatever choice you make. Just think it over carefully for me, okay? You still have time.
Okay. Thanks, Alphen. Say, back then, after the fight, I think I really made Xion mad. I don't know, though. Maybe it just looked that way. But I guess I just can't seem to understand how she feels. Do you know why she gets like that?
Xion's... She can be a tough nut to crack. She doesn't really talk a whole lot about herself.
It's just what she said about hate being a source of strength. Where did that come from? I wonder how it feels, not being able to hold another person's hand.
Lean much further, you'll go overboard. Keeping an eye out for Almeidrea's ship?
I'm looking at the ocean.
The ocean?
Yeah. The waves. They help me think. This world is filled with natural wonders. The icy air and white peaks of Cislodia, the lush green glades of Menancia, the harsh wastes of Calaglia. But Menancia has its Lake of Death, and Nias its ruins. And they wouldn't be there if it weren't for that contest.
Say we actually manage to put a stop to the crown contest for good. What do you think will happen between the Dahnans and the Renans then?
You first.
Well, I want to believe that the coexistence we saw in Menancia can happen elsewhere, too. It's insane for all of us to keep fighting. If Menancia can do it, so can everyone else.
Yeah, I think that would be good too. A world where everyone can get along. At least, that's what I've come to believe.
You sure have changed.
I can't lie to you. Since I was young, I've looked down on the Dahnans too. But I've seen a lot. And I see things differently now. I've seen so many ugly and terrible things in this world. And yet, they didn't come from just the Dahnans. And the good things too. They didn't come from just the Renans. Kindness and cruelty exist on both sides. A person's race doesn't factor into it. So, I guess you're right after all, Alphen. I have changed. You know, I've never actually touched another person like this.
Xion.
Ever since I was on Lenegis, I've always been alone. Even after I came to Dana. Always.
And now?
Do you still not remember your past?
No. Sometimes it feels like I can almost remember. But then this mask stops me.
The mask keeps you from remembering why you have the mask in the first place. It's a little ironic, isn't it?
A little. Well, it won't be long now before you're rid of those thorns, you know? Only 2 lords remain. And once you have their master course, you'll be able to create the Renis Alma, right? Then you can... Shion?
Sorry, it's nothing. Promise. You're right, though. It'll all be over soon. I never could have made it this far on my own. I have everyone to thank for that. Including... especially you, Alphen.
Don't worry about it. We're friends, after all.
Yeah, we are.
Wonder how much longer it's going to be before we catch up to Almeidrea. I'll ask Mahavar.
Look who's up! Good timing. We're closing in on her stern as we speak.
That's the ship? She's huge. Law, go gather the others, will you? Think you'll be able to flank them without getting spotted?
Yeah, with the fog as our ally, I think I might just pull it off. Long as we ain't too noisy, we should be okay.
What'll you do if they catch on to us?
Not much I can do. A ship that size, they'll probably blow us to bits before we ready cannons.
Persistent little things. Evidently, I shouldn't have spared the wretched vermin. Hungry already, my dear? Worry not, for you shall have plenty to feast upon shortly.
Perfect. You managed to get us right up beside them.
I'll stay with the ship so we can leave as soon as you're done.
Good. Then let's find Almeidrea.
Shion, I want to thank you.
What brought this on?
What you said helped to calm me.
Don't mention it.
Now that's what I call a ship!
Yeah. The biggest one in all of Mahagsar. So big that it took years to construct.
For all we know, Kelselik may well have been smuggling materials to help build it. In which case it would be yet another mistake on my part.
We don't know that she was only getting materials from Menancia.
You think it's possible that they might have come from elsewhere too? Yeah, I guess I could see it.
But what do you think Almeidrea plans to do from here on out, now that she's abandoned her realm and sailed out to sea?
She'll be filling her coffers with gold, most likely. Then she'll sit back and enjoy the show as the other lords duke it out. Or something to that effect, at least.
I wouldn't put it past her.
She's strong, yet shrewd, and will stoop to any low. A dangerous one indeed.
She's not the first, and she won't be the last. This is a lord we're talking about, remember?
Sounds like you've made up your mind already.
There was never anything to decide. No one who can smile like that while doing what she did deserves to roam free.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
This might not be the best time, but if you have a minute... That mask of yours, it was shattered by a blow from Balsef when you fought back in Calaglia, correct?
Yeah, thanks for the reminder. I thought I was a goner.
Balsef's brute strength was in a league all its own, yet half the mask remains. It's remarkably durable. Too durable to be Danon in origin.
Shion said the same thing. As if the fact I was wearing it meant there had to be more to me than met the eye.
You recalled your name when the mask broke, I hear.
Yeah, that's right. Although to tell you the truth, I'm a little scared what might happen when I lose the remaining half. Then again, the idea of not doing something because I'm afraid scares me even more. That's why I go on fighting.
Only he who first faces the night catches a glimpse of the dawn.
Come again?
It's nothing. Forget I said anything.
What is that huge flower-looking thing up there? Is that the ship's engine?
Indubitably. As one might expect, large ships require large engines in order to sail.
And if we destroyed it?
We might well sink the ship. Who knows if we would be able to escape before that happens.
Almeidrea sure has been busy since the contest began.
This isn't Almeidrea's doing.
You mean she didn't build this?
The body, yes. However, my guess is that the engine comes from a starship.
A starship? As in one of those vessels used to go to and from Lenegis?
Correct. The technology employed on Lenegis and in starships is more advanced than anything in our daily lives. Almeidrea may be resourceful, but she could never produce an engine like this on her own.
You mean to tell me we've got even bigger enemies waiting for us up in the sky? My head hurts just thinking about it.
Don't worry about that for now. Just focus on taking care of Almeidrea.
She sure spared no expense on her castle.
This must be...
The captain's quarters. The presence of the spirit vessel and the sheer extravagance on display can leave no doubt.
There's no one here.
Yeah, but I doubt she's out for a moonlight stroll. You think she jumped ship and ran away again?
I doubt it. The conniving witch is probably up to something.
Agreed. In any case, as long as she hasn't suddenly sprouted wings, she has to be somewhere on the ship. Let's keep looking. The way this key's been placed, it's like she's daring us to come find her.
Yeah, like it's all some damn game to her.
What's wrong, sweetie? Is something scaring you?
Maybe he just doesn't like being in her room.
I think there's more to it than that. What could it be?
If Almeidrea's not in her own room, just where the hell is she?
It's possible she may be on the bridge, but I would guess that she's waiting for us elsewhere on the ship.
Which means she's most likely chosen a place where she'll have the advantage in a fight.
Be careful, guys. I came from an entire family of Danon mages, and that woman murdered all of them. All on her own. I hate to say it, but she's an incredibly powerful astral artist.
We already know she specializes in controlling wind astral energy. But on top of that, she might try to sick that monster on us again, too.
Right. To that woman, life itself is just a toy for her to play with. Let's make sure we put an end to it. Well, we've only one last place to look. Straight ahead.
Almeidrea.
There she is! Almeidrea!
But all alone? Watch yourselves. She's probably planning something.
I was getting rather tired of waiting around. Oh my, and I see you came along as well, Danon Witch.
Almeidrea.
What's this? I thought you couldn't stand the sight of me. Go on, little one. Show me the full force of that hatred of yours. Otherwise, run and hide like a rat you are.
That's enough! How can you smile while causing pain to so many others?
That is the way of those who possess great power. The very way we Renans live by. Those with power set the example, and those without it are forced to obey. Though you two seem to have forgotten that's the way these things work.
And you really think that justifies your actions? You turned all those people into a hollowed sea!
What foolishness. It's only natural that the fate of a slave differ from that of its owner. Very well, I admit I did fan the flames just a tad back in Mies. But it wouldn't have mattered in the slightest if there hadn't been a spark to ignite. Without it, my actions would have been fruitless. Ultimately, it was their very own burning hatred that laid them to waste. To say it was all my fault is simply laying blame at the wrong feet.
No one's perfect. We all have darkness in our hearts. But the atrocities that you've committed, they're unthinkable! Your heart is nothing but darkness!
What a fool! To think time and time again you would challenge Renan authority without so much as an inkling of how things actually work. Such ignorance is why your kind has been enslaved for 300 years.
Almeidrea.
Well, if it isn't Lord Dohalim.
These people are my allies and friends. I won't let you insult them so.
My, what a shock. I never would have expected you to claim mere slaves as your companions. If I didn't know any better, I would question your noble lineage. Oh, how far the mighty have fallen. A traitor such as yourself hardly deserves to be called a lord.
You are nothing compared to Dohalim.
Rinwell.
He would never stand by and laugh. His people hollowed!
Ha! What does it matter? You're descended from those who allowed the power and knowledge entrusted to them to wither away. Your pitiful family may have feared it, but I do not. That knowledge and power is all mine to command. And now, you will witness what that power's truly capable of! Mesmald! Enjoy your meal! Such sound. But eyes, child. Let me reunite you with your parents.
Shut up! I'm gonna take you down if it's the very last thing I
That's right. Loathe me. Every step brings you closer to being me.
You're wrong! You're wrong! I'm nothing like you!
I'm not done! Dragon Swarm! It's over!
Lightning Orb! Magic is out! Reload! Not in your dreams! Glacial Spear! Pierce Evil! Thunder Field! Freeze Lancer!
Dragon Swarm!
Hey, damn you! Here's the healing heart! Sleep now! Lower for the stockpile! Rain down and purify! Will this help? Sleep now!
Try harder! My turn! I'm not done! I'll tear you apart! Raining Slash! Roll away!
Glacial Spear! I call upon thee!
This one's mine! Blazing Flame! Here I come! No escape! It's over!
Not on my watch!
Go!
Burning
Glacial
Spear! Pierce
I'm not done!
Big War!
Rain War!
Will this help? Rain down! Healing Circle!
Storm! Rising... Talon Hurricane! Infernal
I'll be
Torrent!
saving this one! Magic is
What's she doing now?
She's infusing her beast with more power.
Get ready! I'll be saving this one! Eruption! Lightning Blast!
You're mine! Good! It's over!
Healing Circle!
No escape! Take this! Try harder!
I'll tear you apart! Your place! All disasters made
Here I
one!
come!
Come
I'm
forth
not
and
done!
learn to
Here we go again! Here I come! Dragon Swarm!
Back into the fray!
Beast this! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
All disasters made one! Come forth
Dragon
and learn
Swarm!
to
Do it! Run well! Demon's Descent! Flashing Fang! I owe you one. I'm not done! Dragon Swarm! They're attacking separately! I can't land a hit on her!
Keep an eye on it. And take out the monster first.
She's no stranger to astral arts.
I can take care of that!
Yeah! Take it away!
Here's the healing art!
This one's all mine!
Dance in the wind! Sleep now! I'll be saving this one! Behold, my back into the fire!
Looks bad.
Wits about you, people.
You're mine! Dragon Swarm! No escape! Here I come! Rising Titan!
The winds of judgment blow your way. Fall before impending calamity. Chaotic disaster.
So that's the trick up her sleeve.
Your astral arts aren't so special. And now, they're mine! Into the shadows! Free Lancer! Air thrust! Photon, you get the gist. Sleep now!
Ignite!
Stockpile!
Pay for that! You're mine! I'm not... No. I can't move!
Glacial Spear! Here's Evil! Evil Blast! I'll bring you apart!
Damn it!
Here's a healer!
Only I'd been more careful! You're mine! I'm just getting sick! I'm not done! Try harder! My turn!
Still got some time left in healing circle!
I owe you one!
Dragon Shell!
Raining... I'll smash you!
Glacial
Try
Spear!
harder!
Pierce evil!
Crush!
Here goes!
Not my fighter! Stay away from my friend!
overconfident. I'll bring you back from death's abyss. Resuscitation!
There!
I'll heal you!
Here I come! You're mine! No escape!
Eagle assault!
Dragon Swarm!
I'm all
Flaming thrust!
Feel!
You're mine!
Come and get it! More
Come on! This is looking good! You'll pay! That!
I'll bring you back from death's abyss.
Dragon Swarm!
Did you hear it now?
This one's all mine!
Healing circle!
I owe you one! Try harder!
Rip and tear!
Not today!
I'm on a roll now! Reload!
Power.
That does it! I'll heal you!
Kick it!
Monsters made one! Come forth and heal
Stay still!
me!
Soaring Light Spear! Rising Falcon!
You will suffer.
Here goes!
Her master core.
Not while I'm around, she isn't! I'll never forgive you!
What?
I'll take you down! I'll end you! Pierce evil! Astral energy!
Say no more!
You murdered my mother and father. But I'm not like you.
Rinwell.
Even now, I hate you. But here I am, unable to let go. Honestly, even if I took my hatred out on you here and now, it wouldn't make me feel any better in the long run. I realize that now. So, I won't kill you. I'll take you in, and make damn sure justice is served the right way.
You would dare mock me with your foolish, useless pity? A Danon, nothing more than a mere slave. I won't allow you to...
It's not about what you think. Or being Danon or Renan. Because you'll atone for the crimes you committed. And that's all.
It's that swordsman again.
Lord Volron, what brings you here? No, forgive me. I've forgotten myself. Please allow me to make it up to you, my lord.
Silence now, wretched snake. Does it hurt? It should. That pain is proof you're still alive. Enjoy it.
Volron. Years ago, the Lord of Geneth Haros met a sudden death. His successor was a man by that very name, Volron.
And like a restless lover, I've come back for more.
Stop right there!
Wait, what just happened to him? Alvin! Say something! Let go of me! Let me go!
Xion!
Alvin!
Xion!
Alvin!
Come and find me. If you truly are the Sovereign.